Valve has been doing crazy stuff to CS2 skins recently. Firstly, they added the dumpster fire of a new case called the Genesis Terminal. This thing allows you to buy crappy skins at highly inflated prices, and it was received about as well as you'd expect. But not only has this terminal been a complete flop, it bumped an incredibly popular case, the Fracture case, out of the drop pool. And not only that, Valve have apparently seen fit to alter drop rates, so 40% of all drops now are Genesis cases. But this isn't the only shocking thing Valve has just done. In fact, the craziest thing of all is something they didn't do. You see, a couple of weeks ago, Valve announced they were going to be removing the moderately popular gallery case from the Armory. Naturally, players assumed this meant a new case would be coming to replace it, but then the update rolled around and that didn't happen. So Valve have just removed 2 cases from the game, introduced a new pseudo case everyone hates, inflated its drop odds, and it's not even clear if we're gonna get a second case this year. This is a massive change to the skin economy that's potentially going to affect the game for years to come, and in this video, we're gonna break down why this is happening. Let's get into things. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinBid. SkinBid is a skins marketplace where you can buy and sell and also sometimes bid on skins. Buying skins is quick, easy and convenient. There are thousands of items to choose from, and if you find something you like, it can be in your inventory in minutes and there are no hidden fees. If you're looking to sell, instead the site offers bots or peer-to-peer sales depending on what you're after, and you can cash out direct to your bank. It's a great site, check it out, link is in the description. Okay, so how do we break down what's happening? Basically, in the last couple of weeks, we've had 1 new case, inverted commas, added, 2 others removed from the game, and on top of that, Valve have fucked with the drop rates and shocked everybody by not adding a case when they had the obvious chance to. And if that wasn't enough, these updates have been massively controversial, with people labeling the recent updates as greedy and an attempt to kill the skins market as we know it. By Valve standards, this is a lot of changes, and because cases are the foundation of the skins economy, changes to them do matter. So where do we start? Well, the best place to start is the last few years. Over the last few years, Valve seemed to have intentionally limited the number of cases being added to the game and allowed a lot of older cases to become ridiculously expensive. This made it harder for people to open cases and probably hurt Valve financially as a result. In response, they added the Armory, which gave people access to a bigger supply of skins, but they didn't touch any of the existing stuff. Instead, they've just let older cases and the stuff in them keep on getting more and more expensive. And it's in this context of shit getting more and more expensive that Valve have added the Genesis Terminal. This is a kind of pseudo case with a fancy new UI that lets you buy bad skins at crappy prices. People hated it. Armory made like 6 videos bashing it, and a lot of people suggested this was the start of CS2 having a Valorant style shop, and in general, it was a dumpster fire. And even more significant was what this update took away. The Fracture case, a popular and affordable case, is now removed from the drop pool, and on top of that, Valve have also changed the drop pool so 40% of all drops are now Genesis terminals, which in turn means 40% of the case supply from the drop pool has just been cut off. And this is where the recent update to the Armory comes into things. You see, Valve announced in advance they were going to remove the case, so people naturally assumed they were going to add a new one to replace it. Instead, we got 2 sets of charms, and you know what, they're good charms, but charms are not cases. And when you think about it, we've just lost half the cases from the Armory and 40% of the cases from the active drop pool. Or in other words, Valve just nuked half the case supply. Now, a lot of people have been accusing Valve of being greedy, particularly with the Genesis Terminal. It's understandable. When this thing came out, its prices were absolutely criminal, and in general, it's just a lamer version of a case that nobody asked for. But this doesn't actually make a lot of sense. Those cases that aren't being dropped now because of how the active drop pool has changed, well, those cases probably would have made Valve about $20 million per month when people opened them. Now, they're just not being dropped. And while I'm sure the Genesis Terminal was going to make some money, I don't think it's going to be making $20 million a month. It's just not that good, and I don't think Valve even expect it to. I mean, they released it without any fucking golds. So why add the terminal? Well, I think it's to stop governments from cracking down on cases. Currently, Valve is literally inserting a slot machine into your inventory when you play the game. That's not a great look, so I think they're going to replace the cases in the active drop pool with terminals instead. After all, terminals might be shit, but at least they're not gambling. This then allows Valve to move cases entirely to the Armory, where it doesn't look as bad for them and conveniently is more profitable, and that is why it's shocking that we haven't just got a new Armory case. Not only have Valve just pissed away a ton of easy money by removing a case and not adding a new one, they've fucked the case market in the process. So, what's going on? Are cases being phased out entirely? Is this the end for them? Well, I don't think the case system itself is going to be abandoned. There's still unreleased Armory features in the code, so I think there's still a big chance we'll get another case this year, maybe after the major in December. But the fact that Valve have fucked the case supply so badly here is kind of insane in its own right. I mean, I've made a lot of videos over the years talking about how cases are being wiped out, with good reason, but what's happened now is just fucking unreal. Valve sat back for years and have done literally nothing to stop cases from getting more and more expensive, and I think the reason for that is that they're happy with it happening. While on paper, expensive cases might lose Valve hundreds of millions of dollars per year because you gotta buy the expensive case rather than just paying for keys, in practice I think Valve believe that a healthy economy makes them more money long term, and their definition of a healthy economy is one where skins are stupid fucking expensive. But rather than just letting nature take its course, they've just gone in and kind of murdered the case supply. I don't know how else to describe it. If you think case prices are bad right now, we might only just be getting started. And if there's one thing that stands out to me here, it's that Valve are not acting like they want to kill the skins market. If they wanted to kill it, they'd be flooding with cheap skins, but instead they've just massively cut off the supply of skins, which is almost certainly going to make skins even more expensive than they are now. That's the behavior of a company that wants a game with really expensive skins, and because of that, I don't think they're going to be killing the skins market anytime soon. In fact, I don't think they're ever going to be doing that unless there's absolutely no choice. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.